Had some friends asking about the Brian Setzer SSU or Setzer Smoke, and I just wanted to point out some of the things that really stand out on this instrument that I don't know are exceptional. Number one, for the Brian Setzer models, the Nashville 6120s, they are 2.75 inches thick, while this instrument is 2.5. And this is like all the hot rods, the early hot rods that came out. For a short time, we saw a lot of the two-tones and stuff like that, and they jumped up to 2.75. But the real twang and the focus kind of mids bite definitely seems to jump out of the 2.5 inch thick model. The other thing too is that this has the trestle bracing, where some of the older models, the pre-FMIC models like this that were 2 3/4 inch thick, they have a tone post, and that's it with the tone rails. But the big thing on this is the neck shape. And you know, if you look on the website, it talks about it having a compound radius or biradius, however you want to call it, fretboard, where it's going from 9.5 inches to 12 inches. That feel is incredible compared to just a straight 9.5 or a 12-inch fretboard. But there's just something more to this. They have spent more time with a round over right here at the edge of the fretboard, and the fretwork is spectacular. I've had this one refretted, and just great attention to the work that was done by Paul Waller from he's a master builder for the Fender Custom Shop. I was really surprised when I got this guitar to feel a very similar attention to detail with the fretwork that, you know, I got from the fret job from a master builder. The other thing with the back of the neck is, and there's no way to get this in the camera, but there is a clear beginning to a V shape, a lazy V shape here at the beginning of the neck from the pegboard. And it's very comfortable for a player that, you know, thumb over player, as well for someone that plays, you know, the proper way. I played one over at the NAMM show. It felt incredible. Being a pessimist, I kind of went, yeah, they got this thing all cleaned up for the NAMM show, but no, not true. These guitars are just, they should set the benchmark for everything that Gretsch does from now on in their pro line. Because as I was telling you before, with the lazy V, it starts rounding into a C as you move up past the 7th fret here. And so when it comes to chord work, it's fast. It's fast and smooth. Obviously the semi-gloss lacquer kind of adds to that, this broken in feel, this vintage feel, and it's beautiful the way the light hits it. You know, but those are aesthetics. I'm talking about the actual playability of the instrument, because really how the neck feels in your hand is everything. I mean, you can work out rattles and stuff like that. I will say, when I got this guitar, it had 10s on it. It comes with a brass Godot ABR1. That's what TV Jones puts on Brian Setzer's guitars, so that's what they have on here. But turning this thing on, it also has Ray Butts pickups. And these pickups are mated really well to the trestle bracing. Trestle brace guitars, there's a stiffer feel, there's a kind of brighter, twangier top end to them than the Soundpost models. And I feel like the SETZER signatures, they tend to be just a little too strident for my ears, especially with these blonde amplifiers. And so the Ray Butts pickups with this, being 2.5 inches thick, and with the trestle bracing, the Ray Butts just have a smoother top end. And I'm not saying darker, just smoother, because it's a very twangy, bright guitar. But so I guess maybe less strident. Where I think the SETZER signatures that I've got here in the 99, where they excel is there's better note-to-note separation on the low end, while these tend to feel to me a little bit more like, early PAF, a little more warmth, a little more blur between note separation on chords. But overall, this instrument is just balanced, and for these pickups having no wax potting in on the Ray Butts, they're the very beginning. They do really well with overdrive, and so there's a lot of sparkle to them. Open G. Notes ring out really well. But like I said, with the low end, playing individually on the strings, obviously your classic Gretsch sound and nice and woody. Wow. I'll get it. More chetty things. Just a real solid pickup. And so I would say, ignore my playing, but I would say these pickups grab the Chet Atkins thing better than the SETZERs that are on here. They also, this guitar lends itself to more early Brian Setzer sound. So if you really appreciate the Stray Cats sound more than you do the Brian Setzer Orchestra era, this guitar is definitely that instrument. And so, also one thing to mention, for a while the Setzer signatures had Schaller locking tuners, and I did not like those on there. I don't know why. Schaller is a great company, been around forever, but somehow on the Gretsch, I don't know. I was breaking a lot of strings with them, and could have been my instrument. I tried filing them and stuff, and it ended up, for me, it's just my opinion, but I ended up getting rid of those, and I put the Spurzels back in. And so when this guitar arrived, it had these Godot locking tuners on it. I immediately kind of turned up my nose and went, what is Gretsch doing? And I was, went and bought myself another set of Spurzels. But Spurzels in general, the quality lately has kind of been questionable to me. It's just the tolerances have gotten really loose. And I don't see that here with these Godot tuners. And after doing a couple string changes, these things are solid. They're great. They work very easy, and they are well built. So, kudos to Gretsch. They made a good choice with these, in my opinion. The Bigsby is the American Sandcast Bigsby, the right one, not a licensed one. Just everything fit and finish on this instrument is a league above anything that I've owned from Gretsch, be it, you know, mid 2000s, late 2000 hot rods and that sort of thing. These instruments are not cheap, and for me it's a very expensive instrument, and I feel like I've invested in a product that's just amazing. Now this old gal, my love, my true love, my first love. Let's see if I can plug this in here. This thing was a mess when I got it. This is a 99, and you know, unlike that one where the fretboard is and the neck are floating off the body, the way they were, you know, intended to be built back in the 50s, early 60s, excuse me, where I let the body resonate more, especially under the fretboard. I don't know what happened in the 90s where the body is sitting, or the neck is sitting straight into the body. And these have a thicker top, those have a thinner top. But these have a tone post. And so there is a lot more resonance going on in the body of these guitars. And I'm not talking about the 2.5 inch thick. I'm, you know, just comparing a 2.75 with a 2.75. But with this guitar, there's just kind of a woody growl and bark to it that trestle brace guitars don't have. But you know, you have to contend with feedback a little bit more on this instrument. Just to let you hear the difference between the SETZER signatures and this, with the same thing I was playing. G, open G, like I did on the other. The mids are a lot more forward focused in this, so there's a little more bite to it. But what I really love about these pickups is the note separation on the low strings.